listening to the Dynamic Women podcast. Each week, you'll be inspired by our global community of women. They'll share with you tools and stories to help you be dynamic in every area of life. Here's your host, award-winning coach, and the CEO and founder of Dynamic Women, Diane Rolston.
Hi, I'm going to talk about how I made an extra $2.5 grand without it taking any more time. And I think this is a really important topic, especially with where we're at right now, where a lot of people's, primary income stream isn't working for them. So here we go. How I made an extra $2,500 on a speaking gig without it taking any more of my time, and how you can add an extra $1,000, $500, $100 here and there as you go through your life without it taking any more of your time. That's what I really want to talk about today, because I want you to be able to have options for bringing in extra income. So I'm going to talk about kind of my story, and then I'm going to share how it matters back to you. And before I kind of fully go into it, I want to share the idea of additional income streams. When you can add additional income streams to your business, or even when you add it to your life, if you work in a job or career, you can get paid in a few different ways for the same amount of time. Now, a lot of people maybe already have an additional income stream. You invest in stocks, you buy real estate, you could sell a product that you love on the side, like a lot of my clients who sell Epicure or Arbonne as their primary business. You might just have kind of it on the side to bring in a little bit of extra money here and there. I know other people, they go and they'll do those driving services, so driving people or driving food orders. And so these are different ways of bringing in additional income. There are hundreds of thousands of ways. But what I found with a lot of the ways, they either take a really high level of knowledge, for example, real estate, or with stocks, or it takes, you need a lot of knowledge to know how to do it right. And you need a lot of money to be able to get the return. And maybe not everyone has that, or it's a long game. So you have to wait till the market is right. And then you have to buy at the right price and then sell at the right price. And so that's an amazing way. I know my husband does stocks, and so that's good for our family. And I want to give you an option that doesn't take that high level of expertise, doesn't take maybe the stress, and doesn't take high capital or coming up with investors or whatever it may be. And so I'm going to talk about my experience, and then I'm going to talk about a way that you can easily have an additional income stream that will not only provide you with money, but will provide you with opportunities moving forward that could, gain you more clients, more customers, more speaking opportunities, more interviews, podcast interviews. So whatever it may be, I'm going to share about how this worked for me. So I am a professional speaker. I am flown in to do talks in different locations. And so on this one particular occasion, I was being flown into my hometown, which is awesome. It was so cool. I tell you, that was just the most humbling, blessed moment ever, to be able to be brought into my hometown, to be able to, be in the paper and have my parents feel proud and for me feel proud. But anyway, so I'm brought in, I'm flown in. And so obviously expenses are paid. My fee is paid. And what ended up happening was we got a sponsor for my Dynamic You book. So just like the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, this is the 9 pillars of being a dynamic woman, because everyone kept asking me, what is a dynamic woman? And so we had a sponsor who bought 100 copies of the book to give to all the attendees. So it was one of those Oprah moments, and you get a book, and you get a book, and you get a book, and you get a book. It was so amazing. And then at the end, I autographed all the books for all the ladies. It was a women's International Women's Day event. So it was a leadership event. And so the women all got a book, and this company got sponsored, and then they got promotion. So I promoted them, and the group that brought me in promoted them, and it was a win-win. And so that brought me an extra about $2,000. Now, granted, I had expenses. So if we think of that, that was the revenue, not the profit, but that's what the 2,000 was what I brought in for the books. And then I was able to sell my other books. So at the time, I'm just trying to think, I know that, I have another book, this one, Success Secrets. I was also able to sell my mug. Oh, do I have one here? Yep, my Dynamic Women mug. I am dynamic, ain't nothing gonna break my stride. And so I had these different products. So when you added up the sponsorship for the books of 2,000 plus what I was able to sell at the kind of side table, or you could call it the back of the room table, with products, so t-shirts, mugs, books, a whole bunch of things, tickets to an event, it was another $500. I was already there. It didn't take more of my time. I was already gonna hang out after I spoke and connect with the women and autograph their books. So it was basically an additional $2,500 that I was able to bring in, not only for my business, but, for my family. And so if I was to look at that as 2.5 or maybe $2,000 in profit, because you have your expenses to pay for the printing costs and the product cost. And so at that point, you might be thinking, $2,500, that's not that much, or $2,000, that's not that much. Or you might be thinking, wow, that's like more than I make in a month. Or I would love to have that as additional income. Like, what could I do with that? That'd be amazing. That could fix my car, or that could buy that printer I need, or that could put my kid through dance classes, whatever it may be. For me, it was the difference between going to Disney and having a couple days there, and going to Disney and having 5-day passes for all of us, plus those Flex Pass, Multi Pass, Max Pass, I don't know, all those extra passes that get you to the front of the lines. So I was able to create memories with that money. And maybe for you, that extra money would do some of the things that I've just suggested. And now you may be thinking, well, Diane, I don't have the time to write a book. I don't already have a book. Well, let's look at there's other options, but let's look at a few options. So this one worked really well for me. Yes, I already had a couple of books and products and things, but I did prepare these products in advance for these events. And then you may think, well, Diane, I don't speak at events either. Yes, but you attend events and you're online, and you maybe sell packages to clients. And so there are other ways of you getting out a product to your customers. So let's talk about the different multiple streams of income, not just an additional stream, but multiple streams, and how this can benefit you. And then I'm going to give you a simple idea in the end that you can implement like right away, so that within 2020, you can bring in some additional revenue, plus raise your status, plus bring in extra opportunities without it taking a lot of time, energy, or money. Sound good? That sounds good. Let me know. So multiple streams of income. So it could be, if you're running your own business, some of the options could be things like an online course, an online product. So it could be like some videos. It could be an online book. It could be a physical book. It could be an audio series. It could be meditations. It could be your music on CD, your yoga or fitness classes, movement classes on CD. There are many different ways. Now, you don't just go and make stuff, right? You definitely just don't go and make stuff, because you want to make sure that what you're making is something that people will actually use. So if you're selling oils, can you do the oil rollers that you make yourself? Can you do some sprays? Right? So there are always other things that you can add on that you can sell to kind of go with what you're doing. Even if you're selling, let's say, a lipstick product, could you also sell in there little makeup bags if your company doesn't already sell them? So there are ways of adding on to what you already do. Now, it should be in alignment, right? I'm not selling bike parts as a coach or as a speaker. It makes absolutely no sense. But for me to sell mugs and t-shirts that have motivational sayings on them that are in alignment with my brand, that's perfect. And do you think that if every time you went to an event, and I do this, I'll go to events and I'll bring some of my product. So I'll bring some of my books and I will place them on the table in front of me. Why? Because sometimes I like to gift them to the speaker, gift them to an organizer, gift them to someone that's there, or someone will say, oh, is that your book on the table? And this, my Dynamic You book with a big photo of me on the front, it's pretty obvious it's me. Or maybe because my hair is different, it's not so obvious it's me. But anyway, people say, oh, is that you? Is that your book? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, that's cool. What's your book about? And then we'll get talking, and then they'll probably pick it up and look at it. And now I'm explaining the benefits of the book, why the book's cool. Not you should buy the book, but I'm explaining the benefits of the book. So I have the book on the table. People then ask, oh, is that your book? And I say, yes. And then they look at it. We talk about it. And I say why it's cool or different than other books. And then they often will, how much are they? And I'm like 20. And I do 20 when I'm out and about because a 20 is pretty simple to have in your wallet. I also have Square on my phone. So it's really easy to, actually I don't swipe. I just punch in the code. It's super easy and then send them a receipt. All done, right? And so I could go to an event and I could sell 4, 5 books sometimes, depending on how big the event is. And so that's $100. That could pay for my event, right? My event ticket. Sometimes I gift them to people because I'm building connection, I'm building relationships. And so in them looking at the book, reading the book, they start to get to know me a little bit better. They maybe get to know some of the strategies I talk about. Maybe they have a mind shift that they're like, wow, that was so powerful. I really want to work with this girl more, or at least get to know her more. And so these are all options, right? These are options of things that you can do to bring in more money into your life or your business. And if you're sitting there thinking, I don't have a book, Diane. I don't have a course, Diane. I don't have the ability to get this stuff done. Well, first of all, you need to check your mindset, check your perspective. But I want to come back to you with a question. Can you repurpose something that you've already created into another revenue source? Can you? So have you already created a course? Could that course become a book? You've already created a book. Could that book become an audio? You've already maybe recorded yourself on audio. Can you now make a slide deck to go with it and make it into like a PowerPoint mini course? Of course you can. There's all these different options that you can choose. Now, what I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you, some of these things can take more time. They can. And if tech is involved, if formatting is involved, if printing is involved, things can take more time. And you're probably working on the things you love to work on, plus the responsibilities. Like one of my responsibilities being my child, who is now knocking on the door. And I'm going to go see to him. So I'm going to be right back. And then I'm going to tell you about something that you can do in order to quickly get into multiple streams of income, or at least an additional one. Okay, so I promised you that I would tell you about a really simple way that you can have an additional revenue stream. This is actually what has happened. This opportunity was picked up by 52 women back in 2019. 52 women were part of the Dynamic Women Success Secrets book. Now, the cool thing about being in a collaborative book means that you not only have a product, but you have a product that has been made for you. So with my books, with my collaborative books, all you need to do is submit. Oh, so cute. Nicole signed this one for me. All you need to do is submit the 2 pages, your bio, your secrets, your story, and then I do the rest. I format it into the book. I do all the templating. I get the cover designed. I put your image in there. And then I give you and then I get it printed. And then I give you all of the, all the social media tools that you can send out there. I give you the press releases that you can send to the media. I give you the sales sheets so that you can do exactly what I did and have multiple sales. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. So all you need to do is that small thing of submit your contribution, and the book will be done for you. I even give you sales copy to send out in an email to your people. I even throw a launch party so that you can just show up, be a star, autograph the book. You can show up and make an additional income stream. So what does that look like? You could make, when you sell these books, $10, $15, or maybe even $20 per book. Wouldn't that be awesome? And the other cool thing is before the books even are printed, you can pre-sell the books. So the investment in being in the book, you can recoup super quickly. And then you have the ability to have a product that means something to you. The other cool things about having a book is it makes you an expert. Okay, let's talk about the power of being in a book. So first of all, if you're in your own book, the power of being in your own book and in a collaborative book is that you are considered an expert. You can now add author to your bio, and it raises your status. So if you are in a very competitive market, this now gives you that opportunity to be different, to be unique to other people who are maybe seeming similar to you from a customer point of view. So you're the person who now has a book. Also, there is your piece in the book, like Leah Koss, her piece in the Success Secrets book is being a born entrepreneur. So she talks a lot about being an entrepreneur. So she's positioning herself, as well as her bio is talking about the businesses she runs. And then her contact information is there so that people are able to reach out to her. So makes you an expert. It makes you unique and different than your competitors. And it also positions you as who you want to be seen as, and it gives people an opportunity to connect with you. And when you are in a collaborative book, the really cool thing is when I go to events and I have one of these $2,000 bonus days where a sponsor, an organizer, someone purchases these books in a very quick time, very quick moment, there are potentially 100 people, 200 people, 50 people, 5,000 people who now have your story, now have your bio, now have your piece. So being in a collaborative book is a huge benefit in that way. Another thing that I suggest that people do when they're in a collaborative book is to reach out to the other authors, because when the other authors are going around, they are also selling the book. And so your community expands, your message reach expands. It's so beneficial for you to reach further clientele. And if you're thinking, well, I work in a service that is local and people don't need to be further away. Yes. And, and what's the benefit of that? You have an additional income stream. And so you can still go places. So if you are in, let's say you're a hairdresser and you have a salon locally, but then you go to a conference for hairstylists or salon owners or the beauty industry. Now, if you have a booth, a vendor booth, you have your product on there. Maybe you're coming to sell your services. A book is a wonderful thing to attract attention on your table. Makes you a somebody. Now, I'm not saying you're not a somebody if you don't have a book, okay? But I'm talking about if somebody's walking by, they think, oh, wow, she's got a book or she's in a book. And so you can add this in as a bonus to packages. So buy 3 hair care products, get a free book. It obviously has to make sense for you with the gross margin that you're putting on all your products. Yeah, so it can help to elevate you. So if you are like I said, a hairstylist, and you're like, well, it's not going to help me get more local clients, you'd be surprised. It can get you some PR, which is going to help to bring people in. You can also be selling the books online. You can also build a following because of it. So there's so many different things that you can do by being in a book. And then I'm going to just share how you can make this happen easily for you in 2020, as I promised I would share. Yeah, it's not been the easiest having the kids at home to work. And it's funny because I was on a call the other day and someone said, oh, where are you looking forward to going? Are you looking forward to traveling somewhere or just getting off the North Shore? Like, what are you looking forward to being able to do? And I'm like, just drop my kids off at school. Of course, I love my kids. I do. But I also love being alone and working on my stuff and serving you. So I'm sure you get my pain here. So anyway, the last piece that I just want to share with you is that you have an opportunity to come into the next Dynamic Women's Secrets book. In 2020, we are doing confidence secrets. So you can share some stories, a story that you have on confidence, a message you have on confidence, some secrets you have to being confident. There's also a way to position yourself and to do this in a strategy that not only will make you book sales, but also will bring back opportunities to you, that will bring back press or media to you, that will bring back clients, customers to you. And I do a strategy session. I bonus that strategy session in so that you can have time to ask me questions and talk about like what the title should be and how you should use the bio as well to help position yourself. There's a ton of strategy around this, and why this book is different and why my opportunity that I'm giving you is different is because I actually give you the chance to pick my brain around the strategy piece of what you're doing. And a lot of the other collaborative books that I've seen, it's just like submit your story and we're going to make it happen. But as your coach, I want to really be there to give you more pieces to making this not just a product, but something that actually supports your life and your business. So if you're wanting to, for those wanting to be in the book, wanting to be chosen, selected to be part of the book, this upfront, this is a paid opportunity, but it is a fraction of what I've seen out there in the industry for being a part of a book. Plus, there are so many bonuses that you get. The bonuses are like 20 grand in bonuses because you actually get to spend time working with me. Beyond the strategy session, there's so much more. Oh my goodness. Just one piece of the opportunity is massive for what you receive. It's pretty crazy. The last time I presented this and I gave like all the things that you get, like mastermind day with me and a 2-day training with me and some programs of mine, and people were like, and that's the price? And I'm like, yeah. What I really want is I want more people, more women to be able to share their stories, to share their legacy. And then the cool thing is when I go out and when I when I sell the book or when I gift the book, I'm sharing the stories and the lives and the businesses of these 52 women. And a lot of them are my clients, and a lot of them are become client friends. And it's so amazing. Like Michelle LaBelle, who has been able to be in the book, and just seeing the joy on the authors' faces once they get their copies, and the joy of autographing the books at the book launch parties. So on Monday, May 11th at noon Pacific time, I am doing a book collaboration and strategies session, so that you can join the session. It's obviously complimentary, that session, so that we can just talk about this as an opportunity rather than me talking to tons of people separately. I'd rather talk to a group. And so I will put the link in here, and you can RSVP, and you can jump on there, and you can hear a little bit more about the opportunity. And come. If you're curious, come. If you even think, I can't write a book, I can't write a story, I can't write that piece, come. We've had Denise in the last book. She is dyslexic, and she had concerns about her writing a piece. We have had other women who are like, but I'm in a 9-to-5, I can't write anything, I can't give business advice. And they've blown me away with their content. We've had other women who are like, I'm just new in what I'm doing. What could I offer people? What value could I add? And trust me, huge value. You can add value to people's lives by sharing your stories and your secrets on confidence. So I'll put the link in there. RSVP, please, so I know who's coming, and so that you can get the Zoom link. That's really important. And if you don't have any additional income streams, now's the time to think about it, especially with the way things are. If you don't have something additional, then there's a chance that if you lose your primary source of income, you will lose your consistent cash flow unless you have an additional or multiple streams of income. So be thinking about that, right? Be thinking about how else you can bring it in. And if you're like, whoa, Diane, this has totally blown my mind, I don't even know where to start, but I really, really want to do this, and I'm serious about doing this, then reach out to me, Diane at DianeRolston.com. We can unpack this. We can strategize for you. Like one of my clients, Laura, she's building a legacy around her bookkeeping business and training other bookkeepers how to do it. And potentially, we're going to do a certification program. And so there's lots here. There's a lot of opportunities that we can have no matter what industry you're in. No matter if you have a business or you're working a 9-to-5, there are ways to bring in multiple streams of income. Let's chat. Hope to see a lot of you on the book collaboration call on Monday, May 11th. And if you have missed the time for this, still reach out and see if we have any spots left in the book. This is an exclusive opportunity for women who are the right fit, and it's limited to, I already have a bunch of the spots already taken by current clients and other high-level women, and so I encourage you to jump on this opportunity. First, those who are in the training session on Monday, May 11th, will get priority into the book because you already know what I'm talking about. And if it's after the date, just reach out, Diane at DianeRolston.com. And until next time, everyone, have a great week. Stay dynamic, and we'll see you on Monday for the session. Bye.
Thank you, Dynamic Women, for joining us today. Please hop on over to iTunes to subscribe and leave us a review. Who do you know who needs to hear our message? We'd love it if you'd share our channel with your friends and family. If you're ready to be more dynamic, have more balance and more success, head over to www.dynamicwomenclub.com/free gift for your Key to Success book. Stay dynamic.